We're live. Not that probably anybody's here, but it doesn't matter because we're just going to talk about bullshit anyway. Welcome back. Hello, everybody. Me and Markeem have been wanting to do this for a while. Actually, I wanted to do this before Tuesday or before.
But I have been super busy.
Yes, or before. When did that game come out? When did the Marvel? Was it Monday? Was it yesterday? No, it was.
It was it's been like a week. It's been like a week and a half now.
Yeah. But, we wanted to do it before then, but shit happened. So, but anyways, we're gonna talk mainly fighting games, just because we tried to talk about it a little bit last time. But the last 6 months of fighting game news has been, you can't even say insane. It's kind of earth shattering of everything that's been announced, mainly on the Capcom front, but. I mean, still, it's the next year will probably be kind of
stuff crazy. That's been rumored,
right?
Just all over the map.
I'm very curious about the next year. But anyways, everything kind of will just get started. So it's probably starting with, I don't even remember what show that was, where they announced the Street Fighter 6 Season 2, which everybody was not ready for. Because
some people complain because they wanted more Street Fighter characters, but I'm like, man, look, they gave me. If you want your Street Fighter characters, they gave me the coolest version of M. Bison ever. Like, I cannot stop playing M. Bison, and we're gonna get Elena back for better or worse. So you want your Street Fighter characters? There you go. Like this, like that version of M. Bison is worth it alone. Like the way he plays, you now have a scissors kick that you don't have to charge. What are y'all complaining about? I don't get it. And it's just like every scissor kick he's ever had. Except I would even say this one is better because the recovery isn't as long. Like it's like it's the light one is super safe. You do it and it's like zero recovery. It's super hard to punish. Like you just throw it out over and over. This is like M. Bison on steroids. So what are y'all complaining about? And I guess maybe people didn't want Bison back. That's fine. But look, as a longtime Bison player, I'm super happy. I haven't abandoned Marissa, but he's my secondary now. So what's the complaint here? I don't understand. And then also, Terry Bogard and Mai. So what are we doing? Like, what's the complaint?
Because you had people. I'm like, who? So I get that people are sick of Bison. I get that. I understand that. But he's been pretty much a dude since Street Fighter 2. He was the main villain. I don't know why. Yeah,
probably the most iconic final boss in all of like fighting games. Probably.
Maybe
you really thought he was gonna be gone forever. Right, you really thought he was gonna be. Come on.
Right. Whatever. And I don't know. I haven't played his story yet, so I don't know how it plays out. But it looks like it makes sense too. Which is saying something for a Street Fighter game, because sometimes
he lost his memory and he knows that he has this psycho power, but he doesn't know that he's like the past of M. Bison and everything he did before. So it works. It works. But, and then and Ed hates him because originally, if you know the story in 5, he wanted Ed's body and all of that. It's all there, but. Whatever, man. People just want to complain. People just want to complain that he's the only character in the game that can drive rush from the entire screen, from like across the screen. That's a problem.
I mean, it's
whatever,
just,
man.
Because here's the thing, you give us Terry and Mai, and right away, like if you go and one of the things I love is watching different people's reactions to watching that. And the moment, like, it's not even just like Terry shows up, they all freak out because a lot of people, like me included, when Markeem posted it on our Discord, and I just clicked it, not even reading what he said, and I thought, like a lot of people, he starts coming across the screen. It was Cody because it looks kind of like Cody, and then then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Cody, and then you realize who it is, and I think everyone had that this is cool. And then the little light bulb goes over everybody's heads. Wait a minute. If he's here, that means we're not even one step closer. We are on the line of getting the one thing I have bitched about this to Markeem since probably the first time we ever
since
talked.
We've known each other. Since we've known each other.
Since the first time we ever talked, that the one thing I have always wanted badly when it comes to fighting games is Capcom versus SNK 3. I know I'm not the only person out there. You're now at the line to where
my thing is that if I didn't get a 3, I just wanted a remaster of 2 with online play. And I don't have a remaster, but now I got 2 with online play. So look, even if we never 3, this is fine. Like I'm fine with it.
Even if we, and we'll get to that too. But they announced all that. And Terry comes out, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. He comes out in a week. That kind of shocked me, but it kind of also kind of makes sense. You want the other, maybe most iconic, though it makes me wonder what they're going to do with her. Which I do you think, I was thinking about this? Do you think SNK will let Capcom put her new outfit in their game first before City of the Wolves comes out?
Of course not. Of course. You talking about the bodysuit?
Yeah, the bodysuit. So what do you think her second outfit's going to be?
It will probably be, I don't know. When City of the Wolves comes out, when? Early 2025?
Yeah, it kicks into April, I think.
Mine's the 4th character, right?
Yeah, so she's like January, February.
So I mean, I can see it because it's around the same time. So maybe,
and maybe they're thinking, hey, they'll get people hyped or whatnot.
Yeah, because I can even see City of the Wolves coming out the week before Mai comes to Street Fighter, or
something like that.
I can see that. I can see that. And then when City of the Wolves come out, they announce Ken for City of the Wolves. It's gonna be some Street Fighter character. I'm sorry, a lot of the SNK fans are upset about that too, because I don't know. I don't know why. For some reason, people don't like guest characters all of a sudden. I don't get it, but
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. But hey, what are you gonna?
Guest characters are awesome. Characters are. Look, man. Look. Listen to me. The original fucking guest character is X-Men: Children of the Atom. Akuma. You know how hype I was. Speaking of, I guess it's a good segue to the collection, right? Speaking of like Marvel and all that stuff, like Akuma in X-Men: Children of the Atom was so awesome because playing that in arcades, you just go, oh man, Capcom made an X-Men fighting game. That's awesome. Then you see someone put in just the random code and just Akuma's there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, didn't expect, like, that was cool. The moment I saw Akuma in that game, I was like, this is awesome. Like, well, actually, I saw him for the first time on Saturday, not the point, but that was awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like when people see guest characters, they go, oh man, that's just this company looking for a cash grab. Well, I mean, yeah, the name of the game is to make money. Obviously, we wouldn't have any of these games if
how much. Here's a question for you. How much of that is we got so much of the guest character stuff going on when the dark days, I'll put it that way, during the dark days of fighting games, we had so many of the which wasn't that long ago, but where you had like it seemed like everybody had everybody. How much of it is that, Street Fighter X Texan just left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and all that. I'm wondering,
the version of Street Fighter Cross Tekken that launched should have been the version that died. No, seriously, because at the end of that game was awesome. It's just the version that came out was so predatory and so like it was almost like NBA 2K for fighting games. They wanted you to spend so much money, get these fucking gems. The characters, the DLC characters are already on the disc. All that stuff. It was just real dirty. But then by the time the game died, the gameplay was perfect. The gameplay was exactly what we wanted. It's just at that point, nobody was playing the game anymore. Like you couldn't even, like my local scene out here, which very tightly knit. My boy Mello Hendricks is like the curator of the South Carolina like fighting game scene. Shout out Mello because I know he's watching. But one thing that he always prided himself on is that he wants as many games as possible represented at his events. And even at that time, when he was trying to get everything off the ground, I think this was like 2013, 2014, Street Fighter Cross Tekken was the one game that nobody touched. And he was trying to get people to touch it because it got good again, but nobody would touch it. And it all comes down to goodwill, because now when people go back and play the final build of that game, everybody loves it. When people try to tell people, it got good. Right. It's just when you kill the goodwill of a game like they did so quickly, then who's really going to play it? So, yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks because that was the chance, right? Like that was, because truth be told, I love Capcom versus SNK, but the real ultimate crossover is Tekken and Street Fighter. You know, that's the one, or Tekken or Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. One of those two. That's the real,
completely different, completely different type of games too. Where the SNK games are pretty much
they're Street Fighter games. They're Street Fighter games.
They were created by, like, if you don't know, a lot of the early SNK games were created by people who
had left Capcom.
Right. So that's why they look so similar. There's a lot of like similarities in a lot of things. But it's why they fit so well too. Like like you can put them together and it says, oh, this seems right. In a lot of
like ways. You can really tell the way Fatal Fury Special is better than Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Oh man. Oh, not supposed to say that, right? Not supposed. It's a better game, but yeah, stuff like that you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell that, and so then when you got the first Capcom versus SNK game, which is flawed because the rank system is for the characters is flawed. I
didn't hate it.
I don't hate it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's flawed. There's a difference between
it's why? Because people wanted to adjust everyone's like power levels and stuff,
right?
Like all that stuff. But I don't know. I thought it worked with the lore. Like it was strategy involved because you got Sagat, you can clear out a whole team. You should be able to, right? If you pick Geese, you should be able to clear out a whole team. You pick Bison, you should be able to do that. I thought that was cool. I don't know. That was just me.
No, but I mean, it's still really good. I think that just that, like, for people that don't know, the version that's going to be on the what is it? Fighting Collection 2, that version of it, the picking of people isn't nearly as stringent.
I think they said they took the Japanese arcade version, but like added like some of the assets from the PS version.
No, the Dreamcast. This is Dreamcast.
Yeah, the Dreamcast version. Dreamcast version. Yeah, and that's I don't know how they pulled it off, but I'm happy they did.
Hey, like a lot of people.
Look, I'm never going to touch that on that collect. I'm just not like I'm probably going to be playing CVS 2, but I think it's cool that it's there. It's cool that it's. I'm not touching that. Come on now.
Right. We'll get to that collection too here in a second. But you've played the Marvel collection.
Too much.
So, what are your thoughts? Did it live up to your hype, or did nostalgia take over everybody's mind?
Okay. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be nostalgic, and I'm also going to be fair. Okay, it's two different ways of looking at it. Okay, the good. This is the first time that we have come damn close to getting the arcade versions of all of these games anywhere, because even back in the day when they were ported to consoles, it was always like major changes to the game. Like, I don't think has Children of the Atom ever been like re-released? I don't remember. Like,
I don't think other than what the Saturn version, right?
Yeah, but even I'm talking like even then it was still in the arcade. I'm talking about like modern day.
No.
Like
at
any point.
No.
And somehow
wasn't it in the Marvel?
The Origins one. Yeah, you're right.
Was it in the Origins one?
Was it?
Or was that just Marvel 1 and then 2?
I know it was Marvel 1, Marvel 2, and
that's it. I think it only had 2 games.
I thought it was Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter in that too. I thought.
Oh, maybe. Anyways,
either way, doesn't matter. There hasn't been many versions of Children of the Atom. The fact that we even got something like that is cool because that's the one I've been playing the most because that's the one that is the most nostalgic for me because that's the one I played literally all the time.
Right.
And the fact that we can do that is cool. The fact that, I mean, I hate it, but Marvel Superheroes is there. It's cool. Like, it's cool that we had these games. My thing is, I feel like they didn't go far enough with it. For these games, right? Even more than the original Fighting Collection, right? With Darkstalkers and Hyper Street Fighter 2 and all that. This needed an in-depth, like, tutorial for, like, all these games because they all play so different. And for people just get, like, because the idea is that, yeah, you want to preserve these games, right? But you also want new players to play it. And the only way that, and I know it's going to sound super like sacrilegious because of the era I'm from, right? But bottom line is that now people have been force-fed how to play this game and this game and this game. And I think you kind of had to do that with this because if you play Children of the Atom and then you go to Marvel Superheroes, it's like you playing two totally different games.
It's very different.
And then you go from Marvel Superheroes to X-Men versus
is very, it's still very Street Fighter-ish in a lot of ways. It was just, you got the super jumps and you've got a few other things that make it look like, you know, superheroes. But then you get like to Marvel Superheroes and it's completely different. You've got the
totally different game.
And you've got the and then you start getting into the wild combos and the supers and it's
because then after that, you know, you take something like X-Men versus Street Fighter, and that's the precursor to what we all think of Marvel vs. Capcom. Like that's the tags and the wild setups and the glitches in the infinite combos and stuff. All of that is in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Imagine someone just coming from X-Men. Imagine someone just playing these in order. They'll have no idea what to do. None at all. And I felt like they could have did a better job with just add something. With maybe not with all of them. Maybe not with like the fighting game collection too. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to do that. That's fine. But with these games, you probably should have did that. Another problem that I had is so small. And I don't know how you can avoid it. But the rollback netcode, and I know this is something that people have been dealing with Fightcade for God knows how long. But it literally makes some characters way better than others. Like you take a very good example. I know you're talking about on Discord, but a very good example of this is Magneto.
Yeah, I've seen videos and I'm like, I don't want to
like it's crazy. It completely glitches. He's already Magneto in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, if you don't know, is one of the greatest, like
he's
in terms of just he's up there. He's up there. Like in the dirty secret about Marvel vs. Capcom 2, as much as I love that game, there's only about 7 characters that you can actually play and like hope to win consistently. Like if you decide you don't want to pick those 7 characters, you and your opponent need to have a real conversation about, hey, how are we gonna play this? Like, are we playing mid tiers? Are we playing low tier? How are we playing this? Because if we playing for real, there's really only about 7 characters you can win with that are full characters. There's some assists that you can throw in there that you know are really, really, really great, like Tron's assist, Ken's Tatsu, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's only Magneto, Storm, Sentinel, Psylocke, Cable, Dr. Doom. Who am I forgetting? Is that it? Who am I forgetting? Let's see. Magneto, Storm, Sentinel, Psylocke, Dr. Doom, Cable. And like everything else is just kind of assist. Like Captain Commando, Cyclops, who's another? Like I said, Tron, Ken,
Jill with that stupid fucking
Jill. Yeah, but for the most part, everybody else is like significantly worse than the rest of the cast. So if you really want to play the game, you got to have a conversation. And Magneto is to me, a lot of people say it's Sentinel. I personally think Magneto is the best character in the game because of his speed. And his speed was like his movement was so much faster than everybody else's. And then you throw in this glitch with the online play that it almost makes him look like he's teleporting. It's hard because I've played only a little bit of matches of MVC2 online, and every team I played had Magneto, and they all were doing that. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't even want to play it. It's not fun. Like, it's not fun. And I don't know how you can get around that because I know people were talking about how it's been like that on Fightcade. I don't use Fightcade at all because I don't have a good enough PC for it. But I know people have been talking about this. So at this point, it's been released on consoles, it's been re-released, all that stuff. Actually make a concerted effort to try and do something about that because even the Fighting Collection 1 got online updates. I think as early as like a couple months ago. I think it had like an online update. So just all I ask that they keep updating these games. And Marvel 1 just has not worked for me. I don't know what it is. The matchmaking, it just don't work. Because like I notice people playing because if you go to like casual, you see like all sorts of lobbies of people.
What are you playing on?
I'm playing on PlayStation.
You're playing on PlayStation. Okay. Because apparently Steam, there's issues with the matchmaking on Steam.
With all the games, or
yeah, I think with all the games. I think you have to basically play casual, or you can't like. So maybe it's the same issue.
That's not fun. That's not fun, man. That's not.
So but it's something that they know they gotta fix.
I've been able to get ranked matches on Children of the Atom, on Marvel Superheroes. Unfortunately, I really hate that. I didn't realize I hated that game, so I hate that game. I think I hate it. I think I hate it. I think this collection has shown me, Markeem, you never like this. That's what I think. Like that, I don't like that game, man. But I've been able to find at least ranked matches on there, X-Men, all of them, except Marvel 1. I sat for like 2 hours, not a single ranked match. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. They got to fix that because, truth be told, this is going to sting a lot of people the wrong way. I know everybody loves Marvel 2, but the best game of all of them is actually Marvel 1. Just my opinion. Marvel 2 is the one that everybody has nostalgia for. Marvel 2 is the one everybody has nostalgia for. But Marvel 1 is the one that I feel like is the most fair. The entire roster, you can play the entire the entire roster, you can play on some level. Mega Man has setups that are really fucking good and really fucking like dangerous and scary to get out of. Venom is a monster. Spider-Man is a monster. Even Ryu with the style change and all that stuff, it's almost like he's 3 characters in one. And even Zangief is worth a damn in that game. So it's like it's fun to me because the entire roster has a chance to win, except Chun-Li, but the entire roster has a chance to win. In Marvel 2, I can't use half of these people. So you play the top level people, it's just Magneto, Storm, Sentinel. Magneto, Storm, Psylocke. Magneto, Sentinel, Psylocke. Cable, Sentinel, Doctor Doom. Same teams. I forgot Strider. Strider too. Strider, Team Clockwork, basically. Team Clockwork, Strider, Doom, Sentinel. Same shit. Same shit all the time. It's not fun, man. It's not fun. But still love it. I'm still glad it exists. But I think that there are little improvements that could be made, just quality of life stuff. But as far as like the collection itself, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I think and you and me talked about this too. The one thing I guess we can talk about now that like all of this stuff is missing. And this is just Capcom being Capcom. Is all of this shit needs fucking crossplay. It not having crossplay.
It's hard to do that.
I know, but I mean,
with old games, it's hard to do that. Man.
I'm just saying that even Street Fighter doesn't have. So what are you gonna do?
What are you talking about? 6 has crossplay. You got to put in your Capcom ID. Use your Capcom ID. You can play people on PC. You can play people on PlayStation. Yeah, it's crossplay. You just got to use that Capcom ID. That's all. Right. You can set it up when you go into matchmaking.
See, I haven't done that, so that's probably why.
But yeah, with the old games, it's hard to do that, Josh. I don't know. I would love it, but I don't think it's ever.
But I'm just saying that would be the one thing that's probably missing. But
because I love to play some of my dogs that play only on PC. Hell, you play only on PC. Yeah. I would love to play you at first Street Fighter, because that's the one you have the best chance at.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably Marvel. I don't even like it. Marvel Superheroes probably out.
Nah, maybe. Yeah,
I hate that. I hate that game so much.
Do you hate it? Do you hate it as much as SNK versus Capcom?
Probably, but for different reasons.
Well,
SBC Chaos is just bad. Like it's just,
but it's bad in like a enduring way. That's the thing, because it's just
you were just happy that SNK got to use
no.
Street Fighter characters and Capcom characters.
But I like the game. Not that it's like it's a horror. Like there's only
even the music is bad. Even the music is bad, Sean. It's bad, man. Oh, it's so bad.
But it's funny.
I also
laugh at it. I laugh at it.
I fucking hate that. Like sometimes certain combos work and sometimes they don't for no reason at all.
Yeah,
it's not that some work on big characters. Just sometimes it works. Sometimes I fucking hate that game, man. You know what? I hate that one more. I hate because at least I can't say that about Marvel Superhero. I can't say
updated it. I don't know what they fixed, but I know they had just updated it.
Did they fix the game? They fixed the whole. They fixed it all. Oh man, I remember when I was watching Evo, and it was funny because I was in this giant like chat room with like a bunch of the SC dudes from here that didn't go because a lot of us it's like a gang of like 30 of us, and like half of us went, half of us didn't, and I was in the room with everybody that didn't go. And I just remember this dude named Caesar said as soon as they announced it, it's fucking terrible. What's the point?
The thing is, so this is the one thing about that. When they announced that, you could tell, like, if you watch people's reactions to when they announced it, you can tell, like, who had actually played the game and who hadn't, or who had just ever heard of the game. Because the people that actually played it were like, this is cool, but this is cool. Or you would get the, hey, this game is fun for all the wrong reasons. You would get a lot of that. Like, that's how I look at it. Because it's just like, because like you said, you just have to have like fun with it. Because like the broken characters are just beyond broken.
Oh my god.
Are beyond broken. Like it's just not. It's a game that was not finished, and so yeah.
Imagine a fucking fighting game where Ryu is not playable. That's SBCK. He's awful. Ryu is awful. He's terrible, man. I hate that game. I hate that game.
The boss characters are all like they made the boss characters playable, but they didn't like downgrade the boss player characters once you play them. So they're all SNK cheap ass boss characters that you can play, which is not fun for other people unless they're also playing boss characters.
It's fucking Zero in that game. Stupid. I fucking hate that game, man. Hate it so much. People complain about Zero in Marvel's Capcom 3. Oh no. That's the worst version. That's the most annoying of Zero. Zero's terrible. Fuck Zero, man. Oh, I hate that game. I hate it so much. Why did they do that? Why? You know why they did that? So we can get excited. That's why they did it.
That's why they did.
That's why they did it.
It was. Here's another taste, and then we thought, okay, we'll have to wait like months, and we didn't have to wait months because I don't know what it is. I feel sorry for every single like video game that's announced on these Nintendo Directs that comes after these Capcom, because you watch these and the people who aren't fighting games are like, this is cool.
The only way we care about other stuff, they got to drop something huge after these.
Right. Like they dropped that freaking they announced the Fighting Collection 2, and no one cared about anything. And even when they announced that Castlevania collection, people were like, "Oh, there's this." And the first one, when they announced the Marvel collection, they announced a new Zelda game and freaking and Metroid, and people were still like, "I can't."
Talking about the Marvel collection.
Yeah, they were like, "What? I don't care."
Because it's not just that these games, like preservation is so important to me. That's why I wish Warner Brothers would somehow get it together and give us the old Mortal Kombat games, even though I don't love all of them. Like, I don't really like the Mortal Kombat 3 engine at all. Like, I don't like this shit at all. But that's important, man. That stuff is important because these are the things that define an era. Like, imagine, like, I talk a lot of shit about the WWE. Oh, we're going into wrestling a little bit here. But the one good thing about the network is that the library. Remember the network, how like all the library was there, and it was fun just like being able to relive these things that they had access to. Now we're not gonna talk about how they got access to it. Not gonna talk about that, but that they had it. It was always fun to do that, and this is important for gaming as well. Like it is so cool that now I can boot up my PS5, not have to buy a fucking Sega Saturn or a PlayStation 1 and just play Children of the Atom or a Dreamcast.
They have to pay a fortune for freaking games. Yeah,
exactly. Do you know how much Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cost on the PS2 and the Dreamcast? Like you would go broke trying to find it. It's crazy because I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the PS2, not knowing how much it would cost like years later, and I traded it in to GameStop for like $10. Now that game is like worth like $300, $400. And at the time, I could have just kept it.
Hey, I had all of the big money games on the Dreamcast, and I think I traded them all for nothing.
Just not thinking.
Right. Like I wish I would have kept the Dreamcast if I had known what I know now. Even beyond like how much stuff's worth, just the fact that I didn't know I would not be able to play a lot of this shit.
And look, that collection, Power Stone, like Power Stone is finally playable.
It's gonna be online and like people are not ready for that shit. I don't think people are ready.
And look, say what you want about Power Stone. Say what you want, but that game is important. I really feel like no Power Stone, no like Smash Brothers boom like you got, because that was the first arena. Like that wasn't the first one, but that was the first one that like took arena fighters seriously. And then Smash took it. I think because Smash was around the same time, right?
I think Smash actually came out.
Might have been before, right?
The first Smash Brothers is not.
It don't play like something like Melee. You know what I mean? Like Power Stone is like the precursor to Melee. You know what I mean? And Melee is still huge like, today. Like 2 months ago, there was a Melee tournament with like 2,000 entrants in it. The game is still huge. Hell, every time they have these Smash tournaments around here for Ultimate that I take my nephew to, there's always a Melee side tournament. And there's a lot of times the Melee side tournament has more people in it than the Ultimate tournament. That's how big that game is. And Power Stone
without any support.
And without Power Stone, that doesn't happen. Now we can finally play it again.
I wonder, given, and I know you're talking a bubble, but given this is the one thing about when they announced the Fighting Collection 2 was that I was shocked because I have bitched about Power Stone forever that we don't have Power Stone. That so many people were like excited that we not just that we were getting Power Stone, because it wasn't just like, oh, we're getting Power Stone 2. It was the fact that people immediately made that, especially when they were like, hey, we're getting Power Stone and Power Stone 2, and then it was like, oh, we're getting Power Stone 2 and we're getting Power Stone 2 with online play. That is beyond like people do not understand.
That's going to be the most played game. I already know, because even on the current Marvel collection, Marvel 2. Look, don't get me wrong. I've been having fun with Children of the Atom, but there's so many people in Marvel. Right. There's so many people in Marvel too, and that's what's gonna happen with Power Stone. I love CBS too, but I promise you, more people will be on Power Stone. Power Stone 2. Maybe not the first one, but the second one, yes.
But as soon as people are like, hey, let me try this out, and they start fucking around with it, and they start realizing what it is. And my thing, and I was gonna ask you, do you think if it gets enough support, we might actually get a 3?
Power Stone?
Yeah.
Do those people still work at Capcom? They're still there.
I mean,
I don't think a lot of those people are still there, bro.
But you have to bring in new people, and it would not be what those games are, because it would be probably a lot more, like Ultimate like, except 3D and actual.
That's fine. That's fine.
But those games are still popular, even beyond. And as much as everyone and their brother comes out with one of those games, I'm wondering if
the side tournaments for Power Stone are going to be so crazy now. Because it's crazy because Final Round and Evo are like the two majors that I usually try and go to. And like at final round, Power Stone is always like fucking huge. When that collection comes out, it's gonna have more interest than some of the main games. Like, it's gonna be so many people. Because I think it was, what was that, 2022? There was like that Power Stone 2 tournament that had like almost 500 people in it. Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? Because they had to move Samurai Showdown. Because that was 2019. That was the first year Samurai Showdown came out. Because I went to enter Samurai Showdown, and I want to say Street Fighter 5. I want to say, I can't remember. And Samurai Showdown, the final actually got moved to like 3 hours later because they had to finish up Power Stone matches because there were more people that entered Power Stone than Samurai Showdown that just came out. I think Samurai Showdown came out like a week, and then it was more people playing Power Stone than Samurai Showdown. and I'm telling you, when that collection comes out, it's just gonna be worse. One of these tournaments is just gonna have to feature Power Stone. That's how big that game's gonna be. I'm telling you.
It's like, I don't think there's a lot of people that have never played it. They've maybe have seen it. They've probably heard people talk about it. But the thing is, you hit the internet. It's like, so Power Stone is probably the better fighting game because there's more mechanics to it. It's a little deeper game. Where Power Stone 2 is a lot more fun because you've got the stages are just like, I can't even explain this. Like, it's not just that they're leveled, it's that each level of those stages is like completely different from the other one. And you've got all the others, like weapons and the stuff that you can use within the stages and all of that. Plus, you got 4 people online. You have 4 people going all at once.
That's one thing that I have to say they should add to the collection. They should have a way where you can kind of adjust how the stages work and the power-ups. Because if you want to just play traditional 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or however you want to do it, you should be able to do that
without having to be 4.
Yeah, without all the stuff
on 2. So yeah. I think that's something that it'll be interesting to see people who know about the game because they've seen people talk about it and they've seen videos of it but have never played it, just to see how they react. And I think there's going to be people that have no idea. They're getting it because, hey, it's SVK2 and it's going to be great. It's going to be this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And I think they're going to play that, and I think they're going to be shocked at like how, like, I've seen people like do reviews of the Marvel collection, and the very same thing that you and me said would happen was these people started playing everything and they started playing Punisher and they were surprised. Yeah, they were.
I hadn't even played that yet. I hadn't even played it yet.
They were like, wait, this has like, they just thinking it was just it's just a Final Fight clone, and it is a Final Fight clone,
but it's a damn good one.
But it has that stupid roll mechanic that like is nuts when you actually start realizing like it's pretty much the roll mechanic you get from like
it's the one in CBS.
Yeah, and from like Dark Skulls, for example, like as far as like an adventure game, it's the same type of thing where it's a side scroller and you're going up and forth, and like people figuring out like the gun mechanics. A lot of people like the gun mechanics I've seen because they're like, this is different, and I like it because you don't run out of ammo and it's just you only shoot. But anyways, that's another little surprise that I have seen that I thought was really good. So, but I guess we should talk about that collection too, because I mean, I think people. Here's the thing: people knew we were getting Capcom versus SNK. We knew we were just how we were going to get them. That was the thing. It was evident we were getting
how everything's been teased, how all these crossovers are happening, and we knew we were getting something.
Right. Yeah. It was just like what we were going to get, and
when I didn't think it'd be this soon, but
right. And I'm guessing it's going to be February. I'm gonna guess it's February that we get it. I think we're going to get. It'll be that.
Apparently, it's supposed to be a playable build soon, so I imagine it's going to be soon.
Yeah. I mean, once you get the like basic, emulation down, it shouldn't be that hard to do all that. But then they could have given us other stuff, but this collection has this shit on it like we talked about Power Stone 2,
Project Justice.
like I know very few people have probably ever played Project Justice. They probably know of Project Justice. They
probably played Rival Schools
yeah.
in like the arcade and stuff.
Yeah,
but
and I think Justice. Yeah, and Rivals. I could see a lot of people playing Rival Schools, but not Project Justice. I've heard a lot of people say, this is pretty much the Dreamcast. They could call this the Dreamcast collection because of all the stuff that's on it.
True.
Then you got you got Alpha 3 Upper, which
I cannot believe. I can't believe we're getting this version of Alpha 3 at home.
But the thing is
it has all the modes of it because it's never. I don't think has ever been released in America. I don't know.
Well, Upper's never been. It was just Max. So
it's the fucking PS1 modes with the arcade gameplay. Oh my god, it's my favorite fighting game of all time at its peak form. Man, listen. Look, I'm super excited about CBS 2. Don't get me wrong, but that's the one for me. I don't know if you know this, job. That's my favorite fighting game of all time.
That's a lot of people's favorite fighting game of all time.
Man, I can't wait for that shit.
So the first fighting collection, of course, had Street Fighter 2. That Street Fighter 2 version that was like crazy because you basically can pick any version of the Street Fighter 2 characters that are from Street Fighter 2 all the way to Super, right? Super Turbo. Yeah. So, and it's like the ultimate Street Fighter that they put on that, kind of to make up for that the 30th anniversary edition, which is not a bad collection. It's just the games don't play great.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it a bad collection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it, man. Some of those games, I don't know what those are. I don't know where they got them from. Like, because they are. Don't get me wrong. Like, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I guess is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but I don't know, man. Something about frame rate or something. It just seems off. They all of them seem off. Like even Third Strike seems off.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. Is people have said that if they do another collection, that the next collection would probably have something like this for Third Strike, where they have what was the 360 version of Third Strike? The Third Strike Online or Third Strike?
Oh yeah, the one that they added like the online lobbies and the trial modes and stuff like that. Right. I can't remember what it's called right now. But yeah, that was awesome. That version was awesome.
But adding something like that to whatever the next collection would be, and then you would have Street Fighter 2, you would have Street Fighter Alpha 3, and you would have Third Strike fixed, because those are the three games people primarily want.
Hey, hold on now! Don't forget Alpha 2. Alpha 2 is the one Alpha 2 is the one that's still played the most competitively in terms of the Alpha series. That's the one people play the most.
Because if the idea truly is to eliminate Fightcade, that's been what the rumor is that they're
Third Strike Online. Mr. Dynamite said in the chat. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Third Strike Online. Yeah. And yes, Hyper Street Fighter Alpha. Yes.
Right. Right. But all of that, I think that would be the next one. But continuing, we got Plasma Sword. Plasma Sword. If you've never played Plasma Sword is awesome. That is one. I love it.
I never really been in them games, man. I'm glad it's there though.
Fighting games with laser swords. I'm gonna be into it.
And it's like it's not bad. It's just yeah.
I mean, okay. I shouldn't say awesome. It's not better than the same era. It's not better than Soul Calibur, but Soul Calibur is like.
But that's different though. Different kind of game.
Yeah,
but yeah, like I'm glad it's there though. And I'm with Mr. Dynamite. Like Star Gladiator should have been the one that they chose.
But apparently there might still be emulation problems with Star Gladiator and Rival Schools.
Oh, okay, well.
Because they're on different. Cool. They're on PlayStation 2 arcade hardware, so that's what I've seen people say. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. That's what I've seen people say. So, but we're also getting the greatest game ever.
Man, don't you talk about Red Earth? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, John.
talking about Red
Oh,
Earth.
okay, that game sucks, man. I thought you was about to...
No,
not Red Earth. Fucking Capcom Fighting Jam. You talking about Capcom Fighting Jam? I thought about Red Earth because those Red Earth characters in that horrible game. Just horrible, man. Just cobbled together nonsense, man. Just it's like Mugen. You're playing Mugen, it's like Capcom Mugen. Oh, it sucks so bad, man.
Oh, I played it. So it's bad. I was like, this is not good.
But hey, man, hey, I talked about preserving history.
That's what I was going to say.
Preserve
you got
the horrible history.
You got to preserve the bad along with it. And it's bad. Like, it's not even like fun bad. It's just bad.
No, it's not.
Like I play fun bad games. Like I talked about, Chaos. Chaos is a fun bad game in my opinion. This is not a fun bad game. This is not. This is the animations are bad. The animations.
Hey man, you know how you usually counter like anti-air stuff with Gauss splash kick? It don't even work. It don't even work. It don't even work. It's so bad.
Well, they literally took the sprites from like all of these games. They didn't even change them to make them look like they should belong. So it's like they all look like out of place anyways. And then it's just not. It's not. But yeah, like you said,
horrible. It's horrible,
if you're gonna
you knew it was bad when they had like a little section for each game and they got a Red Earth session in the game. You knew it was there. Why the fuck is Red Earth here? Like,
the game that probably nobody's played. That nobody
Red Earth.
That nobody like.
What are we doing?
That no one had ever even gotten the chance to play, and you're sticking it in. It's like what the. Whatever.
Just trash, man. Just trash.
Yes, Neo Geo Battle.
I will say though, I appreciate that they did do it because they had to cobble together something because they canceled Capcom Fighting All Stars.
Right, All Stars.
Which here's my thing. Apparently, there's a playable build of that game. Wouldn't it be cool if we got like the little playable build of that game on one of these collections? You know what I mean? Just take that. I know it's never been released.
And it's supposed to be bad. It's not supposed to be good. I can't see it being as like. Surely it's better than.
It's got to be better than Fighting Jam, right?
or close to it. So. But anyways.
Neither did I, Mr. Dynamite. Neither did I. I didn't see any Red Earth cabinets either.
I had never even seen one until we went to Chicago and we went to.
They had a Red Earth cabinet.
I'm pretty sure they had a Red Earth cabinet.
Was anyone playing Red Earth?
No, fuck no. Everyone was playing like, what were they? Most people were playing like the games you would think they would be playing, just like random
Mortal Kombat.
Like Mortal Kombat. There was a lot of people at least trying to play Tattoo Assassins just to see how bad. And it's bad. I played it. It's bad.
Never played it. I've seen it. Never played it.
It's bad. It's like I got what they were going.
These fools want me to actually play that. You think I rage about the WWE? I can't stand bad fighting games, man. I really can't.
I mean, it was supposed to be a parody of Mortal Kombat. It's not even a parody of Mortal Kombat. It's like it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, there was like because. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, and a lot of like the big giant like the giant cabinet games, and like were played a lot. Because they had the Beavis and Butthead game, they had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, the Avengers game, the Simpsons, like stuff like that. Because people love playing where it's like 4 of you and you're just going. The Dungeons and Dragons game, the Capcom.
Sure, X-Men was in there, right?
Like all of those were the big ones. So when me and Chase were there, I don't know what it would be like we were there on a Sunday. So I don't know what it would be like on a Saturday night when it would.
And plus, people were traveling out there for, AEW. So it's probably not the same crowd that's usually in there. So
now I went on when did I go on a Thursday night when I was there for work. And it was much busier than when me and Chase were there. And that's kind of what I'm going off of like remembering what people were playing. but the guy that was running the thing said that like on the weekends it's not as busy there. Like they're usually busier during the week, but on the weekends the pinball one that's down the street that they have is much busier. And I'm like, really? And he goes, oh yeah, because we got these drunk motherfuckers that all want to play,
Oh
pinball.
man, pinball, something I never got into. I was the guy in the arcade playing Street Fighter while all my buddies were playing pinball. It never was my thing. Never was my thing, man.
Yeah. But
wish it was though, because it looks fun. Never got into it.
Oh, it's like, once you find one that you like, I mean, you have to find one you like, and you have to figure out like how the game works, because there's no instructions on like where do I need to where do I need to have the ball go to like do the whatever the gimmick is for everything. So
yeah, I do like some of the gimmicks. Seeing the board change and stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah, like
the Star Wars one when the Millennium Falcon just appears out of nowhere. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool. One day, maybe.
One day. Should we talk about Terry since he's upon us?
I saw the gameplay overview that Capcom put out, and I gotta say, they did their best job to make him as fair as possible, integrate him with the Street Fighter cast as possible, because they even brought up the ways to counter Terry. And truth be told, a lot of the ways you counter Terry are a lot of the same ways you counter a character like Rashid or you counter a character like Bison. Because the whole idea is that they're looking for spots to get in. Like pretty much they play the entire screen and they wait for you to whip something or wait for you to fuck up something. And then that's when they use that drive rush to get in. Or in Terry's case, use the overdrive burn knuckle or something like that. So I think that was the best route to go with him to make him fair. And it seems like just by the stuff that I saw that he gets on his overdrive moves, he's going to be a KOF character. What I mean by that is touch of death. Like it seems like when he touches you, just like KOF, like because I love KOF, but one thing about KOF that stops a lot of people from getting into KOF is that they see high level KOF and they go, man, all these combos are so long and they're killing people and all that stuff. When truth be told, yes, you do want to do that, but that's honestly not the name of the game. The name of the game is pretty much the Magic series, light, medium, special, light, medium. Like very short combos lead to longer combos. It's almost like Marvel 3 except slower. So the idea is that if you connect this short combo that leads into this confirmed, you can get something longer off of it. And it seems like they're doing the same thing with Terry. And if Terry is like that, then he's going to be somebody that you want to get to burn meter. And if he can conserve meter and get in, that's when he's going to be at his most dangerous. The problem is that game wants you to use meter. So I feel like that's the most fair way to do it. It's going to be high risk, high reward. And I think that's how Terry should be because he's an SNK character, and all those characters are high risk, high reward. So I was glad they did that. I was glad that they did that. He's going to be dangerous in the right person's hands, though. People are going to see Terry and be like, it's the best character in the game. And at first, he's going to be the most dangerous and best character in the game. A few months down the road, it's all going to kind of like come back to earth, and everybody's going to be like, oh, okay, he's good. He's good. That's what I think. It's some characters that I saw immediately, and I was like, yo, this character's a problem, and they're going to be one of the best in the game. JP is one, Cammy is one, Rashid is one. But now, like a very good example is fucking Bison. When people first saw Bison and all the crazy stuff he could do, they were like, he's going to be one of the best characters in the game. And then now we see like he's good, he's fun. I love Bison, but he's not one of the best characters in the game. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen with Terry. Because he seems like when you just watch like that gameplay overview and you see like the damage he can put out, but if you look closer, you see how much meter he's using to get this stuff. And that's going to be the separate. Because he has to have meter because he doesn't have many setups that don't involve him burning a lot of meter. So it's just my little 2 cents.
Well, when you first saw the original game, Trent, you had lots of questions on how like
Yeah, because that gameplay trailer looked like he broke the game. Like he completely broke the game. Because I was like, wait a minute. The power dunk is an anti-air. It's not. It looked like it in the trailer, though. The overdrive power wave, it does work like the Fatal Fury 1 would, but it moves really slow. And I appreciate that. I'm like, okay, this is fine. But that gameplay trailer made him look like, what is this? What are you doing against any of this stuff? That's what it looked like. But when you watch the overview they put out, it calmed me down a bit. I still can't wait to play him though.
Did you get your answer on his level 3?
What do you mean?
You would you watched that one. I remember you saying that you wondered if you can combo out of his level 3.
Oh no, you can't. You can't.
Because you're like
because the trailer makes it look like he falls before they do. He doesn't. So
he doesn't.
He does like a little pose, you know what I mean? It's a little second there. So they hit the ground, you can't combo out of it. So that's fair. All that's fair.
That's CA level 3 though.
Oh yeah, that shit's crazy. That shit is crazy.
I was like, what? I was thinking because they didn't show it in the first game, and I'm thinking, oh, it's probably just like a little different because I can't see it being that much different. Fuck no, he's like being Superman, flying through the air, doing.
And the did you see how much damage the last hit of that does? That's going to be one of those people cash out with that critical art, and everybody goes, "That's not going to kill," and then it just kills. that last, it's almost like the Zangief critical art, where like people see it, there's no way that's going to kill, and then every time dead. That's how it feels, man. When I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, that thing is awesome." Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. He will add a lot of fun to Street Fighter 6 because as much as I love Street Fighter 6, the last couple months, man, I'm tired fighting the same kind of people that play the same way. I appreciate the way that somebody like Angry Bird has made more people try Rashid. I appreciate how everyone wants to play Ed now. I appreciate that now I've been seeing a whole lot more Minoes online. Cool. But the problem is that whenever someone does really well in a big tournament like Evo or even the Capcom Cup or something like that, everybody just plays like that now. In the last few months, there have been so many people trying to play like Angry Bird with Rashid that the game is just boring. The game. Meanwhile, I'm playing my Marissa because that's my main. That's just who I go with, and I'm even seeing the same type of Marissas, man. The same setups, all that stuff. Just the same stuff. Somebody like Terry adds a whole new element to the game, and now hopefully things change a bit. So it's been getting kind of stale. I ain't gonna lie. It's been like fucking Street Fighter desperately needed a new character drop, and I'm glad we're finally getting one. The same way that Tekken needs a new character drop. I get on Tekken, and that shit is now Tekken is so boring now. I'm so tired of Dragunov and Jin and Nina. Everybody wants to be fucking Arslan Ash, so everybody picks fucking Nina and plays her the same way that he does. This man has won 4 straight Evo titles. You are not Arslan Ash. What he does not work for you. It's just the same setups, the same everything is the same. There's only a few people in the world that can really play Nina. And you are not one of them, random guy and fucking bronze rank. You're not Arslan Ash. Oh man. Tekken Heihachi needs to hurry up and drop. Like this is. I wondered because I'm like they haven't had anybody new in like I've seen. I haven't played it, but it's just kind of amazing to me that you would want that. I have a question because you said that about Terry. How do you think Mai's going to play? Do you think she's just going to be like a crazier version of Cammy? Or I don't know because there's always 2 ways to do her. Some people decide they want to go zoning Mai. Some people go the neutral Mai, like what she is, a City in the Wolves, and even a KOF. But remember the old Fatal Fury? She was a zoner. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope she's a zoner because that to me. That's a game that lacks zoners. Like you got Aki and I guess Ryu is kind of a zoner, a bit, kind of. I mean, he's always somewhat of a zoner, but not like he used to be. And it's just not. I don't know. Like I hope they go that route. I hope they go with the zoner though. I hope her fan setups and all that. That's what I hope they do. Oh, JP. How did I forget JP? But that's pretty much it in terms of zoners. That's it.
Yeah.
So make her a zoner. We need another one. That's just how I feel.
That's fair. No, I was just wondering because so much of her stuff is. I'm guessing they're gonna make it all. Most of it charged stuff, right? Because that's what most of her stuff is.
I mean, there aren't many charged characters though in the game now. Like there's Guile. There's, I mean, DJ kind of. I wouldn't even call DJ a charged character though. There aren't many. There's characters with charged moves, but
right.
Not many. Guile is the only one I feel like is a true charged character. That's it.
I'm curious what they're gonna like do with her now. I'm wondering if like
I would say Maya's a charged character. That would be a nice little change of pace. If they make her a zoner, that'd be perfect. I hope she is. I really hope they go that route. I really hope they do. I just have my doubts. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
because people don't like zoners anymore. Oh, how I forget Dawson. Dawson's a zoner. He's always a zoner, but I don't know. Nobody plays him. Even though he's good, nobody plays him. I don't understand, but
he's
probably better in this than he was in 5. And I saw way more Dawsons in 5 than I do in 6. And he's actually really good. Nobody plays him now.
Yeah, but I feel like just from what I played with 6 is you've got a lot of, it seems this way. I could be totally wrong. This is just me. You've got a bigger variety of players that are characters that you feel like you could play than I felt like in 5, or I felt like, at least to me, it was like, oh, this is cool. But if I was actually going to play somebody, I don't know how many of these characters I would actually use.
Yeah. I think the whole cast you can win with on some level. And it's been a long time since I've said that about a Street Fighter game. I think on some level, you can win with the entire cast. Because I remember everybody thought Zangief was bad, and then the patch happened. Now he's good. I tried to tell you, motherfucker, since the game launch, that Zangief was good. Now he's doing the same stuff he did before. The only thing that's different now is that his drive rush is quicker and it covers more ground, which is golden for Zangief. Don't get me wrong, because he's a grappler, but it always covered a lot of ground. Now it just covers more. He was never bad. He was just the worst character in the game. That don't mean he was bad.
Because like I play Zangief's and I'm like, and he's doing the same shit he's always done, where he grabs you and does a shit ton of damage, and you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, Same thing. It's just, I will say this more than ever before though. He is a pincushion. Like he because he's so big, and it feels like he's the biggest he's ever been. He's just one giant fucking pincushion. So there is that, but there's just, he has so many tools that's fine. It's okay. I don't know. I always thought he was good. I was never one of these people that thought Zangief was bad, but now everybody else thinks he's good. But again, even the people, you see, y'all think I'm crazy when it comes to pro wrestling. Even my fighting game brethren think I'm crazy. So, but I'm always right. I'm always right. Doesn't change. I'm still right. But but everyone in 6 you can win with in some capacity. And they might not all be great, but you can win with everyone, I think. Because at 5, you couldn't win with a character like Dan. Even though Dan was good finally for the first time, but you couldn't really win with him. You couldn't win with like Sagat. You couldn't win with him. And he was fine, but it was like, he's just the worst version of himself. Couldn't really win with Ed either. Ed was my main for a lot of 5, and couldn't really win with him either. He was just fine. Now, the whole cast, everyone, has a good, like there's some great Akumas out there, even though I have my problems with Akuma. There's great versions of like every character in the game that you can find somewhere.
I like that. This is again just me being me, but I like that the characters that if I'm just looking, I'd be like, that character doesn't look like it would be very good, has some sort of gimmick that makes them good. At least that's the way it kind of seems like. everyone plays different. Everybody,
and all of the best fighting games are like that, where every character has some sort of gimmick. All of the best ones are like
right, like where you're not all like trying to do the same thing, that sort of thing. So
that's why I get mad at people. I guess let's get toxic. That's why I get mad at people that say Mortal Kombat 1 is not good, because Mortal Kombat 1 gave y'all what y'all wanted. Y'all complain about 11, how everything felt samey, everything felt slower. The game, all this is about the neutral, and there's no real freedom to do what you want. Well, Mortal Kombat 1 gave you all of that. And somehow y'all complained about the freedom, because the cameos are the freedom. There's so many ways you can play. And look, I'm not saying Mortal Kombat 1 is great, because there isn't much to do in the game. But the problem that I have with it has nothing to do with the gameplay. People complain about the gameplay.
But did they complain about the game? Here's the thing. Did they complain about the gameplay because, just as me watching it, this is the reason why I would have a hard time wanting to play it, or I have a hard time wanting to play it. I see the characters that are cameo characters, and I'm like, but I want to play those characters. That's like some of those characters.
True. Look, I give you that. I
think for like somebody like me,
Motaru, or
like somebody like me, that's like this is cool, but I want to play some of these characters and I can't, and that's not very much fun.
Look, I give you that. Kano's been my secondary since forever, and I can't play him in this game. Like, I'm with you. Like
the one dude that I work with that kind of likes fighting games. That's his big, like, he was like, oh yeah, I played Mortal Kombat 1 for a little while, but it just kind of like, I got to the point where I wanted to play the cameo characters, and you can't play the cameo characters, which is weird, because it's kind of like that we just got, Marvel versus Capcom 2, where you kind of got the same thing with the assist characters, but you can play any of those characters. You just, I'm wondering if maybe that's like the big fault. And like, it's so surprising to me that the game seems like it's undoubtedly doing good. It's undoubtedly like still people play it, but
as far as casuals, it's the best selling of all these games.
Right.
It always is. All of the MK games.
But like even if you like, it's just weird to me that like it's got, I don't want to say hate, because it's not hate, but you can definitely tell that.
Oh no, it's hate, Josh. It's hate. It's hate.
Okay, it's
hate.
That, so like, even people that say they liked it when it first came out now are like, no, this game has flaws, and it's not. It's kind of like it was a good release, but it hasn't sustained the stuff since the release.
To me, the best version of the game is when it first came out. What they did was they did the dumb thing that they shouldn't have done, is that they started nerfing stuff, because people liked the fact that some of this shit was broken, made the game fun. Like as soon as they nerfed Cyrax, I was like, I don't think people are going to be happy with this. And lo and behold, they weren't. Katana Prime, one of the best fighting game commentators, period. One of my favorite Mortal Kombat, just listen to him talk about Mortal Kombat is fun. He was on his Twitch stream, and his entire Twitch stream was dedicated. It was like 2 hours long, was dedicated to pretty much breaking down why they're stupid for nerfing Cyrax. Because he was just showing like all the stuff you could do and now that you can't do, and all the stuff that I'm
always of the opinion that unless something is truly broken that you have to fix, it is always better not to nerf characters. It's better to strengthen the other characters. That to me is the better way to go. I know that's not as easy to do, and it's much easier just to go in and go, oh, we'll just fix this character instead of fixing everybody. But I always feel like that's the better way to go, is to fix everybody, and bring everybody up to wherever.
The tough thing though is that you can end up like buffing something that in turn makes someone too powerful.
Right.
That's why it's a slippery slope. Like, I'm with you for the most part. That should be the plan, but it's all about knowing what to nerf and what to buff. Because it's some like I hate some characters that just are hit with nerfs. They don't get anything. They just nerf them. Even like the really strong characters, if you're gonna nerf a bunch of stuff, buff something. Like that's how I've always been. Like if you take like I remember when Street Fighter 4 first came out and Sagat was like so far in a way the best character in the game. That when Super came out, they took away the damage on his Tiger Uppercut. They took away how he comboed into Ultra One. They took away so many things. And I feel like if you do this, give him like shorter recovery on his Tiger Knee or something like that, where you can just throw it out and not have to worry.
You had an idea of how you wanted the character to play. Try to keep that, because I agree with you. I think sometimes when you see, and this goes with anything, you nerf something and you forget that, originally we wanted this thing to play a certain way, and we've nerfed them forgetting how we wanted the whatever it is to play, and now it doesn't work at all. And I think you have to keep we did this and we weren't thinking about this. We still want the character to play this certain way, so let's try to still keep it that way so that what we originally had in mind will still be there.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Because I tell you what, man, like I would play more Mortal Kombat if they didn't nerf all the stuff they did in that first update. Because when that game first came out, that was the most fun I had with a NetherRealm game since like Injustice 1. I was like, this is perfect. They got it. Like this is it. And then that first update happened and they nerfed all that stuff.
I remember when you played,
not as fun.
When you played, was it the first beta you played? What did you play at Evo?
What, for Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the before the Reptile build. Yeah, that was before they added Reptile. When that line was long as fuck. Look, they had where you could play a best of 3 or first to 3, and then you had to move on and let somebody else get on the setup. And there were people just like standing, like just that were eliminated that were just standing in line for hours. I played 2 matches, and it took me almost 2 hours to play 2 matches. That's how long those lines were. And they had like 5 setups for MK1. And it was so much. Everybody that lost was trying to play MK1. That's how crazy it was. But go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
But I remember you saying that the game was different, but it was so much fun. I remember you saying that. I remember you saying that this game it's very different, but it's much more fun than it's been for a long time.
At least since like Mortal Kombat 9. Like it was.
Yeah. And I remembered that. And then I remember the game coming out and people starting to play it, and then I usually get them when they're like really discounted. But then I started hearing people saying, yeah, the game is good, but what the things I want to be able to do in the game, I can't do. And that's a try, especially I think for a Mortal Kombat game that probably relies a lot more on casuals than hardcores.
All of them do. All because those are the sales. Those
what I mean is like, I mean, even like in like a tournament setting, I think they probably rely more on the influx.
Oh yeah, people that play online, hearing about this,
right, 100%. Right. I 100%. More than that, more than like Tekken or Street Fighter.
Because a lot of them have just been on the couch for the longest, and they hear about a Mortal Kombat tournament. They're like, "Hey, I'm good at this. Let me go try it."
Right.
There are a lot of them.
Right.
I met a few, so I know a lot of them.
And I've always heard that that's been the case. That when it comes to like the NetherRealm games, it's usually like the people that are at the tournaments. Not that they're bad, but they're usually people who wouldn't normally go to tournaments.
American Idol winner Taylor Hicks was in Evo one time. Like he had competed in Evo one time. A buddy of mine got a picture with him. So yeah, he played online and he was like, I want to try my hand. And he was good. He didn't embarrass us. I think he took like a couple games. It was good. It was good. So he played Scorpion, and I know he played. I want to say I know he played Scorpion and Katana. I believe those are his. I think it was Scorpion and Katana because he came out to play 10. Yeah, he was good.
But see, that's what I'm like. So it's just weird. It's like what we talked about the last time we were on here. We talked about that Evo might look really weird next year. So it might look really
hey man,
strange.
look, all of these majors, man, they have to make a conscious effort on what they're going to spotlight this year. Like all of these majors, because there's so many games coming out. There's so many games. Because I don't know how you can be a major that everyone is traveling to and not spotlight that League of Legends game when it comes out. I don't know how you can do it. I don't think you can.
Because it's going to have it's going to be just the League of Legends people are going to be like, hey,
let me try this fighting game because League of Legends is so big.
Right. Especially like they're already like League of Legends tournaments. So you're going to have the people are used to that. So they're going to be, I don't think it's that big of a thing. And apparently it plays so different than what.
I've been hearing a lot of people complain, but I'm like, yo, it's here to stay. Like we're not getting rid of this. I'm sorry.
Like it's not everything I've seen from people that I would trust say that it's not that it's bad. It just plays different than what people are used to. And so it's hard to get your brain around it. And I mean, one of the dudes behind it is one of the original Evo dudes. So what, I mean, it's going to be there one way or another. And then you're going to have to see it.
Well, can't do nothing about it. Y'all going to have to just don't complain. It's here to stay. I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully that community is cool. That's about all I can say. We're going to see a lot of them, y'all. I'm sorry.
Do you think it'll be a Dragon Ball type situation?
Of course.
You think it'll be like that?
Because a lot of those people just invaded like that. Because it's Dragon Ball, man. We ain't gonna be able to avoid this. It is what it is.
I mean,
it's League of Legends, man.
Like I don't think it's bad. I'm just wondering because when I heard about, I was like,
but also a lot of the Dragon Ball players were players from like other games that just all like kind of found like because they love Dragon Ball. They was like, yo, I'm gonna try this. Because you had somebody like Leffen who was a Melee player, Smash player that came and pretty much fucking dominated. Fucking Dragon Ball. Him and Goichi both dominated, and Goichi played all sorts of shit. Like not, you wouldn't expect him to come in and pretty much play the Marvel versus Capcom version of Dragon Ball, right? And be dominant, But it's Dragon Ball. So many people that try. IFC Yipes of Marvel fame, he tried it. He was super into, Dragon Ball and did commentary and all sorts of shit. I mean, because it was all sorts of communities all coming together. Because it's Dragon Ball. And the same thing will happen with League. and honestly, it'll probably be people that aren't really into fighting games, all playing League. So,
right.
Hey, man, let's welcome them with open arms, guys, because they're going to be around. I don't know what to tell you.
But you have that. We have City Wolves, which we talked about. And then, you're going to have, with these collections coming out, you're going to have those older games.
Some of these classic games, man, they're all coming back. Look, listen. I don't know which game will be spotlighted at Evo. I have a gut feeling that the way they have been like really behind MVC2, I think it's going to be MVC2 again, which is fine. I'm fine with that. But I mean, what if it's CVS2? I don't know. I
mean, we talked about like,
but
is there an outcry and people are like, we want both, and they're like, we don't know what to do.
I don't think I don't think you can do both though. I don't think you can. I think it's you also got to remember, man, a lot of these companies are paying for the game.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of this. I'm just,
I don't think we might have a situation where one of those has like 1,000 like entrants and it's a side game.
And people are like, what's up?
That might happen. That happens with Melee all the time. Like every time they bought Melee to Evo, when they stopped bringing it to Evo, they would have the side tournaments for Melee, and it would be like 500-600 people. Because it's Melee, man. What can you say? It's Melee. What can you do about that? Because every year,
Nintendo not to be dumbasses. That's what.
Every year they invited Melee, there would be like 1,500 fucking entrants, and I'm like, yo, the only way you can get rid of this game is if you just say we don't want you here. And they did that because I'm like, yo, the numbers warrant this game being here every year. It warrants it. And then
Nintendo said they didn't want them being. So, I mean,
because the people that show up, man, they show up for Melee. I remember that year they had 2 Smash games. I think it was Melee and Ultimate. I want to say it might not have been Ultimate. Might have been the one before Ultimate. I can't remember. But each one had like 1,500 competitors. Cause yo, these smashers, they come out. Y'all complain about them, but they come out, man. That's how you ensure that your game lasts 20 years if you keep fucking supporting it. And that's the problem with it. Oh no, see now I'm about to yell. Now, and that's the problem with us. Y'all complain that they don't pay attention to these classic games and stuff like that because y'all stopped supporting them. Y'all stopped supporting the CBS too. When Justin Wong was trying to host fucking side tournaments and all this other stuff for NBC2, you motherfuckers didn't support them. And then want to cry that they don't care about Marvel. Well, why should they care about Marvel? Y'all didn't support him.
He's getting his revenge now. Have you seen
exactly?
Have you seen what he's doing to people online? Have you seen what he's doing to people online?
Oh yeah, I've seen what the goat's been doing, man. I've seen what he's been
doing. That's mean. That's just mean.
Like this dude, nobody loves Marvel more than him. And people like IFC Yipes and Viscant and motherfuckers like that have been trying to keep this scene alive. And you motherfuckers won't watch the streams and come to the tournaments. IFC Yipes was doing like a weekly every week in New York for like 3 years, and the viewership went down and down to the point he stopped doing those MVC. Every week I would watch those streams, and less people would watch. And he stopped doing those weeklies because less and less people would come out too. And then y'all complained about, well, they don't love Marvel. It was right there for you. It was right there. And then you had somebody like Maximilian, you know what I mean, who pretty much is the reason why we got this collection.
Right.
The Save Marvel 2. The Save Marvel 2. It took Max, you know what I mean, to pretty much devote all his streams for like 2 months for Marvel 2 because he didn't play anything else for Marvel 2. That was the whole movement. Nothing else for Marvel 2. And that's why this is happening. Because we had to get the biggest fucking fighting game YouTuber and fighting game personality, period, to go, hey, no, this shit is... He did the same thing for Killer Instinct. All y'all got to do is support these games. Be like the Smashers that y'all complained about coming to all our tournaments. Be like them. If we were more like them, we would get shit done. But y'all rather complain, man. Josh, this could be a whole topic. All they do is complain, man. All you got to do is support. Support, you know, support. Like we had a real conversation about Mortal Kombat not being at Evo next year because they didn't support the game. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because it's Mortal Kombat. But it's a real conversation to be had because less than 300 people entered Mortal Kombat. That's what it is.
And do you see it change? And here's the thing: do you see that changing next year?
I think it'll be around the same thing. I don't think it'll go down, but I think it'll be around the same thing.
So, but there's a chance that other games will have more people there.
There's no chance, Josh. That will happen. That will happen.
That because I mean, we talked about this. You and me talk about this a lot. Because to me, that's mind blowing to me that Mortal Kombat. And I understand Mortal Kombat doesn't do historically great at Evo. But still, for it to be next to last when it comes to that
look,
stuff.
that less than 300 number is usually like 2-3 years into the game.
Right.
They did it for their first appearance.
Right.
For Mortal Kombat 1. And that was the number. That's crazy, man. That's so crazy to me.
And like you're gonna have City of Wolves this year, which is probably gonna be
it will be the most entered SNK game of all time. I really believe that.
You think so?
100%. 100%. It's gonna shatter. It's gonna shatter KOF 13. It's gonna shatter it. There might be like 15 to like 2,000 people that enter City of the Wolves, but 100% sure about that.
And then you're gonna have maybe the League of Legends game whenever that comes out, and that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's gonna. I guarantee you that have at least 1,000, and I'm keeping it low. I'm keeping it low.
It low. So there's two right there, which means that theoretically Mortal Kombat should be.
Yeah, it should. It should.
You know,
how much is NetherRealm Studios going to pay? That's what it comes down to.
Because Arc Studios probably is not going to be able to pay that much. Because it's one of their games.
If Ed Boon has something to announce, though, he wants to do something kind of cool, they're going to let him have Mortal Kombat. That's just how it is.
maybe it'll be, hey, I've because if Warner Brothers Studios is truly going away, and he's find someone else to, maybe he'll just go out on his own again. Maybe, who knows? So,
I mean, like NetherRealm could do it. Like these games sell like crazy, man.
I know they do.
We might stop playing them, but they sell like crazy.
That's all that matters is, like, do they sell? So,
and the lobbies are still like Mortal Kombat. You can hop on Mortal Kombat right now online, find a match like that quicker than any game, because for everybody that complains, you motherfuckers still play online. Y'all still online.
Which is
complaining about the game.
Internationally, that's not like a massive game, right?
No, that's just us here. That's America.
Right. That's crazy to me.
Which makes it even crazier for all you people complaining.
Right. That's like
they're like WWE fans. Stop playing it. Stop playing.
Because I mean SNK,
stop playing it.
SNK has parts of Asia and then South America for the most part, and then
and Mexico, South America, Asia, and like little smatterings of us here.
Right. Right.
Oh, and England. Let me not forget England. Let me not forget.
They have a
England. Big. Yeah. Let me not forget those people. I don't want to get cussed at.
Oh, I have a question for you, because I don't think we talked about this. I think we talked about this privately. So and maybe you can explain this to me, why they felt like they needed to do this. When Terry first when that reveal trailer got put up, and they were able, because the first place they were able to play Terry was in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Why were they trying to figure out if they could do like infinite throws and shit instead of actually figuring out like how he played? What was?
Because that's Street Fighter. The throw loops, man. They wanted to see if the throw loops were still in that build, because with Terry is going to be the next build. So that's the whole thing. Because a lot of people been complaining about the throw loops. So seeing if he can do it, that means it's still in the game. And it looks like it's still in the game. And look, I don't know what they can do about that. I think it's just a mechanic that comes with Street Fighter 6. Just got to live with it.
That people can exploit, because that's
exactly
what you do. You exploit.
You find a mechanic and you exploit it. I don't think you can really fix it. Just guess, man. Just guess. That's all you got to do. Just guess. Guess and just wait for your moment. Wait for your moment to
maybe have one of your
priority.
You have one of your programmable buttons be the throw button,
like a dragon punch, or attack.
Yeah, be like, so you can at least try to block it. So
I never like doing that, because I always find myself hitting them on accident. Especially with that new stick I got. Like, by the way, revised review of the Titan. It feels good. I like the space between the buttons and the stick. But man, I am too fat to play with that thing all the time. When it sits on my lap, it's just small, man. It's just nah. That's gonna be something I only use when I have to travel.
Maybe you need to make your own stick.
I look. I got a buddy that's been helping me do it. We have a couple ideas, because I want to make a Skype talker stick, and we got the chassis, because I want to use the old TE2 chassis, and just have it customized with like our Skype talker shit. Maybe have like a little graffiti of like all our names, like Brandon and you and all that. That's the plan. You know what I mean? That's the plan. The problem is this motherfucker want to charge me $700 to do that. Because he was like, "Yeah, I can do all that for you, $700." I'm like, $700? What are you talking about? I can do it myself. He was like, "Well, then do it yourself." Because I can't. The last time I did that, I tried. All right, so quick story. I tried to do that with the Hori Real Arcade Pro for the PS3, which is the first like arcade stick that I ever bought. Even back in the day, I never owned an arcade stick. That was the first one I ever bought. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna customize this thing. So I pop all the stuff open, and I don't really follow, like I kind of follow like the labels and stuff, and I'm plugging in the buttons and stuff like that. And then I plugging the stick, and then the little light at the top is just not working. And I'm like, what did I do? So I open it back up, and I realize it's a little piece of tape, right, that you got to keep in place. And that's like the main power supply that powers the rest of the stick. And I was laying against the bottom of the stick because I ripped it. And after that, I was like, I don't want to do this no more. I can't do this no more. And that was 3 months into me having that stick. I completely broke it because I wanted to customize it. It looked cool. It just didn't work anymore. And then when I went to my guy that, fixes stuff like that, he was like, ooh, $150. Like, motherfucker, I spent like $220 on this stick. Like, that's almost and he fixed it. But after that, I was like,
what you need to do is you need to find somebody with a 3D a 3D printer to print you a chassis. And then
just put the buttons and shit in.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it might be the way to go. Look, I'm not doing that no more though. I'm getting somebody because my big ass dragon
I got
there.
When I opened it up, I looked in it and I'm like, oh, because I was thinking they're always like, oh, it's not hard to customize this stuff. And I opened that thing up and I'm looking at all where like there's not a lot of wires, but just where like I'm like, oh, yeah, you kind of need to like have a plan when you do this. You can't just you do it.
The thing is, you just have to be careful. Remember that those are still loose wires.
Right.
It's not hard. I've helped someone do it, but I'm not doing it myself anymore. Let's just put it like that. Like I'm not like I help one of my friends customize his, but I'm not doing that anymore. So just be careful. And it's pretty self-explanatory because I don't know if yours do it. You said you got the Mayflash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they label where each button is underneath the stick
no.
so you can kind of see?
No.
But a lot of them do that. So
if you want to do that. Like I switched out the bracket, right, for the stick.
Yeah.
And two of the actual the little buttons for the directional buttons like came loose and I was like, oh. So I had to sit there and figure out like where they went because they were not labeled. Like that was not fun. that was not fun.
Fix it?
Oh yeah, I fixed it. It took me about 15 minutes, but
so where you going? Were you going with the octagonal or the square?
I tried the square. I didn't like it, so I went with the octagonal because I can at least do a little bit better with that. The square I wasn't able to
because that's more like what you used to in like American arcades. Because
we
had the circle. There was no it was just a circle.
Yeah.
Those hap sticks and those buttons, which are fucking awful. But that's what we had in American arcade. See, those Japanese people, they got the fancy sandwood parts and all that. We had the hap circle with the hard buttons that underneath you could get your hands caught on and start to bleed and all that. I remember man, I feel old. I remember Tekken 3. They had to shut it down completely because they needed a whole new cabinet because underneath was just blood and all sorts of pus and stuff because motherfuckers hitting the buttons and their hands is getting caught and the calluses ripping off. It was gross. It's gross. But that was the culture, man. That was the oh man. But yeah, man. Again, support your games. That's all I ask. Support your games.
Like something,
it will last as long as you want. Support that shit, man.
Right.
Support it.
Don't be. Oh, it doesn't matter. No, it matters because
it always matters. If you look, I'm gonna do it again. Look at Under Night in Birth. They added that game and everybody was fucking confused. And these motherfuckers had more entrants at Evo than Mortal Kombat. Just saying, support your game. Those people showed up for Under Night in Birth. I didn't think they would like that, but they damn sure did. They showed up for it, man. And look, they might get invited back next year. Because if you watch the final, which that was the moment where they had the most fucking viewers and all that, the commentators did a good job explaining how to play. The players themselves show how fucking technical Under Night in Birth is and what type of mind you need to play a game like that. And then the matches were fucking amazing. They made such a great impression. That's how you do it. If you support your games, you get more people to play, and the best players decide they want to play. And honestly, see, the reason why I love, and real quick before because we didn't go in like an hour and 30 minutes. Let me break down why I love this shit as much as I do, because it's not even about just playing the game, because we all play games, right? It's nothing like going to an event, and I liken it. I like, honestly, the closest comparison I can come up with is like a wrestling show, because there's storylines, there are things that, because look, I've gone to Evo from fucking 2013 to 2019. I've gone a bunch. Now I've gone a bunch. After all those years going, I've gone a bunch now. Final round, I used to go every year. I hadn't gone in a while, but because it's in Atlanta, it's like 3 hours away. But the one thing I can tell you is that the atmosphere for big time grudge matches and big time like just finals and things like that, it's unlike anything. Yes, it's fun to play the new games. Yes, it's fun just with something like Evo. Yes, it's fun to play the new games. Yes, it's fun to be there for the announcements. But the bottom line, I feel like I'm talking about pro wrestling. The bottom line is we're there for the games. And something like my favorite example is something like the year that Justin Wong won Marvel 3, when people said he was washed and he wasn't dominant anymore. Because that, bottom line, it's the greatest versus player of all time. This dude went fucking 5 years without losing a Marvel's Capcom tournament. Like he went 5 years straight winning Marvel's Capcom 2 tournaments. That's the GOAT. That's the Michael Jordan of Marvel's Capcom 2. And for years, people was like, he cannot get over the hump and win the big one. And then when he won Marvel 3, just the emotion, just how everyone felt, how tense those matches were. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. And if you just look, it's like a sea of people, and it's like utter darkness in there. And like this guy who I don't know, I've never met in my life, is sitting behind me, and he's like grabbing me on my shoulders and shaking me, and like, you know what I mean? It's because that's just that's all he can do to let it out. And look, I've met Justin like 3-4 times. I'm not gonna call us friends or anything like that. He probably don't even remember my name. Like, I've met him like a few times, you know what I mean? But in that room, we all like, you know, he knows that, you know, we all respect him. We all, you know what he means to the scene, that people like him and Daigo Umehara and Tokyo and Mago and all the 5 guys in Japan, motherfuckers like, you know, Haitani and all of them, the scene that they help, you know, cultivate, that we are all benefiting from now. We know what he meant to that scene, so we all were behind him. And it's like stuff like that. It was almost like the Bryan Danielson yes moment. It really felt like that, because we, you know, that moment was huge, because we never thought that WWE would get behind Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson the way that they did. And we all thought Justin just he couldn't hang in the way that he used to be able to. And not only on his way there was he so dominant, but he also showed us that in every situation, as tense as he is, there's nobody more clutch than Justin Wong. That's why I love fighting games, man. Even beyond playing them, just the stories and the determination that it takes to really get good at this shit. Like, even if you make personal goals for yourself, even if you play something like Street Fighter, and you go, I'm gonna do all these trials, the feeling that you get doing that last trial with your main character. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I struggle with combos and shit like that, because I mash and I make mistakes. Like, I know a lot about fighting games. I'm okay at them. I think I'm pretty good at some of them, but I mash and I make mistakes, all that stuff. But if I make a goal and I achieve that goal, it feels fucking phenomenal. Like, a very good example is KOF 13. When I first got that, I was like, bro, I suck at this. And Yori was like my best character. He's always been my best character, but he was my best character in that. And I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna do this dude's trials, because these trials are hard. And if I get through these trials, I know how to play this dude. It literally took me 4 months of having the game to finish his trial. And I played 2 hours a night trying to do those trials.
Those trials suck, by the way.
And they're hard. But the idea, Josh, the idea is that if you can do all those trials, there isn't anything that you can't confirm, right. And you know, you're ready for any situation. If you can do them consistently, you're ready for any situation. And now, like, you know, I can do this Yori trial. I can fire them up right now and do them all. But when I first got that game, it took me 4 months to even finish them at all. And that feeling when I hit that last fucking that last fucking max cancel, and yours started laughing. I started laughing like a crazy person because I was like, oh my god, I never thought I would do this. That is the feel. That's the high that games in general give you, but I think none give you quite like fighting games. It's a high.
Fair. I was gonna add while you were going on your rant about Evo and about like stuff that's on Evo. I think one of the things that, like, just from me watching, one of the things that I noticed, like, especially I watched probably more this year than I normally watch like a couple of games. I watched more this
Josh
year.
Trying to get into these games, y'all.
But the thing is, the reason is because on Game Pass, I should say even further. I got a Humble Bundle that had all of the, except for Strive, I had all of the Guilty Gear games on. So I started playing them. And I was like, oh, these are actually really good. And then when you get up to like the last two before Strive, and they're much more, like, the graphics are a lot better. It's completely different. I was like, these are really, really good. And then got on Game Pass and started playing Strive. The thing about the Arc System games that I think is, for me, is you watch those and they're so awesome to watch, because I know some people complain there's too much going on screen sometimes. I kind of like that.
I'm people.
I kind of like that myself. I think it's hard to follow. I will agree, but I think at the same time, it makes for a better watching experience in some ways, because it's a lot more exciting, and there's a lot more to it. And where I think with Tekken and Street Fighter, it's fun, but it turns into a lot of like same combo over and over again, same thing over and over again. And it's the same thing in those games, but it just looks prettier in a lot of ways. And I think that goes a long ways of why those games are as popular. Because if 10 years ago, if you would have said like Arc Systems, like they would have, how many games did they have at Evo this year on the main?
Let's see. We had Grand Blue. We had Strive. We had, is that it? Grand Blue, Strive. Under Night is, I don't think that's
I don't think.
is it? Yeah, it's not. I think that's it.
It's just two.
Grand Blue and Strive. Yeah.
But still, but then you got the games that are like them, and it's just
like Under Night.
Yeah, like Under Night. And it's crazy that like those games from much smaller companies are able to do what they can do. So I think that says a lot. Because to me, if I was ever to go to something like that, I honestly would just be wandering around watching probably a lot of the side tournaments and seeing those played at like probably a level I've never seen them played at. Personally.
Oh, brother, you every year I go, I make it a priority to enter, and if I can't enter, at least watch the TMNT Tournament Fighters Tournament. Or at least watch the final. Even if I don't have time to watch it, I find out when the finals happen. I stand there and watch that final, because it's just shit that motherfuckers do that I did not think was possible on a Super Nintendo. It's just fucking amazing, man. It's fucking amazing.
So good though. That game is so good though.
Yes,
I don't understand why they didn't make. Because Konami made that one, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't
there was supposed to be a sequel and they got canceled?
Why didn't they just make more fighting games? Because that was, I mean, even for the time, it's really, really fucking good.
I don't know. It's one of the best of the era, 100%.
But
it's to me, it is the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Yes, even Turtles in Time. Yes, I'm talking about that too. To me, that's the best one. Tournament Fighters for the Super Nintendo. Man, Shredder in that game. Shredder's the most fun motherfucker in the world in that game, man. Broken, but fun.
Because he plays like Ryu, right?
Shredder, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I haven't played that game in like.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say anybody is like a comp for like Ryu in that game. I would say Shredder is more Sagat in that game.
Yeah, Sagat.
Yeah, because he even has like a knee strike, like Sagat. But yeah, that final every year, super fun. Like that, those side tournaments are like part of the fun at like Evo. Like
Because I would think that would be
playing
like
Hokuto no Ken, which is always fun. That broken ass game, always fun. Like seeing like people play that at a high level. There's Fight for NY every year, and that shit gets heated.
I can't even imagine watching people play. So how does that work? Do they play pre-made characters, or do they play their own?
Oh no, you got to choose one of the characters in the game. You can't play a custom character. There's a couple banned. I think Suspect is banned, and there's a couple of characters that are banned. But yeah, you got to choose one of the characters in the game.
I can't even imagine that as a.
Oh man, it's awesome! It's so fun, man. Watching like people like run away when somebody gets a blazing and watching people run for like 20 seconds. It's the most nerve-wracking thing in the world. Oh man, then they catch you. That's about it.
The wrestling game that nobody talks about
because it's one of the best, man.
I know. I'm just saying that nobody talks about it because they don't think of it as a wrestling game, and it's like it's probably what could have been. What could have been if they had kept the WWE. They kept that.
But then Ukes took it, man. The Ukes guys.
Ukes got
that made that the engine that was cool for a bit. Then
I know, but
I got tired of it. Like it was cool. Like it was cool at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, oh, this is interesting, and then it didn't really change at all.
It was still pretty much the same engine that they used for the New Japan games. So
yeah, I know, Josh. I know.
So it's
you talking about for the Wrestle Kingdom games?
Yeah,
I know.
It's like the same. I mean,
I don't like those either, Josh. I don't like those.
Which is good, but it's like, it's not, it's not as good.
Those games could have been amazing though. Like they're just fine. Could have been amazing though. And I had I remember I had the second one, and I was like, man, this game has a lot of potential, but it plays like Dead Reckoning. Then I realized it was the same engine.
Yes. Unfortunately, we only got one of the the Sega All Japan games because that would have been that game's so good.
See, the only one that I have ever seen in person is the one for Saturn. Never played any of them. I had a buddy that had Giant Graham 2000, but I never actually played it. So
Giant Graham's okay.
Featuring
Virtua, I think fighting fans.
Yeah, that's the one for Saturn, the one with Virtua Fighter characters.
Yeah, that's that one. I think fighting fans would like better because it's very much Virtual Fighter made into a wrestling game. So you still have inputs.
Yeah, I seen Wolf in action on there. So yeah. Jesus Christ. Good God. He's like Zangief. Jesus Christ, man.
And then the throwing people into the ropes and then just like decapitating them. It's fun. It's
By the way, we didn't even talk about that. We're getting another Virtua Fighter. That's happening.
Are we? We?
Like, do you remember the Sega announcement? They all but said we're getting more Virtua Fighter. So at some point, getting more Virtua Fighter.
That is my favorite. That is my
Virtua Fighter?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
You got to explain that, sir.
I've always just liked it. That's always been the one that I've liked. I don't know why, because it's not something that
like all of them. All of them?
Not all of them, but that's like as a like those are the ones I gravitate to. If you were to put them, I would gravitate to Virtual Fighter. Okay,
all right. So let's break this down. Okay, so the last version of 5, what's called Final Showdown, is phenomenal. Like that game's incredible. The one before that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they're all great. I'm just saying that.
No, I'm just up here, just trying to. Maybe I have a worse interpretation of Virtua Fighter than they actually, But let's see. We'll get to it, Matthew. I'll talk about it. Hold on. So yeah, so then you have four. Four's cool. Four's cool. 3 is awful. 2 is a classic. And the first one I don't even remember. That was yeah, but two and 5, 2 in the last version of 5 are Virtua Fighter 3 is awful though.
I mean, that one they tried to do too much.
Yeah, it's like Dead or Alive, but not nearly
as
fun.
Good. The thing about Dead or Alive is cheesy and fun. I mean, that's the thing.
But I want to address Matthew's point because he is right. So Black Myth Wukong, I am on chapter 3 because I don't play it as much as I should because I've been busy and playing all this other stuff. But man, so I got to play an early build of it because I had a buddy who reviews these games. I'm not gonna out him because I wouldn't say famous, but if I say his name, y'all know who I'm talking about. And he let me play the early build of it. And what I played from what has come out is so different. There was because they gave 2 hours and they had a collection of bosses that you actually find within the two different chapters of the game. Because the bosses all through that 2-hour demo, some of them in the first chapter, some in the second chapter. So it's kind of interesting how they did that. And they had puzzles in that build. And it's not a whole lot it's a couple, but it's not a whole lot of puzzles in the final game. But I will say that the final game, what they did with it is the right way to do it because this game is all killer, no filler. You are Josh, you are bombarded with bosses. It's like they ball up bosses and just throw them at you. It's so every time you enter a new area, every time you turn a corner, there's a giant boss standing there waiting for you. There's so much thrown at you. It's like a giant action movie just over and over and over again. Does it have problems? Yeah, there's a little technical issues here and there. I only had one, but I've seen other people have other. The only one I had was there was a time where I beat a boss, the tiger boss in the second one, the one that's in the pool of blood in the second chapter. I beat him, and then the cutscene started where he dies, and then it kept looping over and over, and I had to restart the game. And then when he already 100% and platinum the game. I don't blame you. It's fucking fantastic. But the game, it reset. And so I had to restart and I had to fight him again. And it took me forever to fucking beat him the second time because for some reason he felt harder. But other than that, I didn't really have any technical issues.
That's probably stuff that'll get fixed because it's
and he's right. Matthew brought it up, which is another big problem. The invisible walls. There are places in that game that look like you can travel to, but you can't. And I don't know why they kind of made it the way it is. And it seems like you could explore more, but you just can't. And I don't know why they did that. That's probably the biggest issue with the game. I even like the story. They knocked it out the park, man. For this to be their first fucking Game Science or whatever the name of the studio is, this is one of the best first games any studio has ever made. I think we can we all agree on that? Because I can't think of anything what else would be one that a first game from a studio that can you think of anything, Josh?
I mean, unless I go old school,
what? What you
got? Technically Fallout, the original Fallout.
That's a good one.
But I mean,
that is their first game. That's true.
That was their first game.
Stellar Blade is really good, but I don't think it's even close to the Black Myth Wukong. I don't think it's close.
See, I wouldn't include stuff like Baldur's Gate 1 because really that's just the people that made Fallout with a new title.
Now Fallout might be it though. That's a good answer. That is a good answer. I didn't think about that.
I mean,
it's a really good answer.
Yeah, because that's the first. I mean, the guy that did Fallout, he did Wasteland, but it was a different studio. So this was,
Yeah, it's not counting Fallout. It's probably. I didn't think about that. It's a good answer.
You know,
the original Fallout is crazy how much it holds up. Honestly, you still play it like now.
Oh yeah, it's just you have to get used to the fact that if you play it on like anything modern, it's going to look fast. You know, it's going to be
well, yeah, Josh.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, it holds. I think because the story holds up. You know, I mean,
yes,
and Fallout 2 is the same way. The story definitely holds up, so that helps. So
yeah, all of them except Fallout 4, man. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan of that.
I even I'm getting to the point where I like 76 more than I like 4.
What? I mean, they fixed it.
Yeah. Like,
I love watching people play it. I don't really play it, but I love watching people play it.
It just, you have to get that it's an MMO, so you can't do a lot of like the stuff that you can do in like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. And once you get past that, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of 4 either because they relied way too much on the base building aspect, and I think that I just don't like that at all.
And the story isn't as good.
Right.
Holy shit!
Like,
that ending. I know they wanted us to go, oh my god, but I'm like, no.
I could like that, and I kind of get. I don't want to say guessed it, but I kind of thought it was gonna.
No, I guessed it, John. You guessed. I guessed it too. I guessed it.
Because it's like,
I was like, well, okay, all right, cool, I guess.
I thought the robot stuff was far more interesting than her actual story.
100%.
You know. So
so you made a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I made a guy.
But
made a guy. Well, did the ant just get here? Did you just get here, Ant? We're almost done.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about
bullshit?
You're going to talk about Agatha?
Oh, yeah, but Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I've been so down on all of them for like a long time. I will say this though, Will Ospreay may have sold me on the game. I'll say that. So, but I've been so down on them for so long. I don't know, man. I'll try it. Hope it's good.
You know, I tried.
What they do is they're too fucking long, man. They're too fucking long.
Yes.
What were you about to say, Josh?
I was gonna say because I liked Odyssey. I liked that, but that Viking game, I get people
it's so long, it's so boring,
so long, and it's so like not. Yeah.
I like the Origins too, the one in Egypt. I like that too. But that man, fucking Valhalla's so long, and then they added all that DLC. You know, if you play everything for the game, like you play it all, like all together, it's like 250 hours long. Who the fuck wants to do that? Who wants to do that, man? For Assassin's Creed? Nah. Skyrim, you are not.
Cyberpunk isn't even that long, and Cyberpunk's pretty fucking long if you do everything. So,
yeah, if you do everything in Cyberpunk, that's like probably like 80 hours, right. 85. I think that's what my save was, about 85. Because I did everything. I did all the gigs, all the side missions, all the Phantom Liberty and the main game, and hell, all right. So real quick, so Cyberpunk, what do you want for a sequel?
What do I want for a sequel?
My friend, yeah. Like what time period?
Time period?
Yeah.
Oh, I want like probably. See, that's the thing. They won't do like what they should do, which I get. They don't want to do like they don't want to do the actual like current time period that's in the RPGs because they don't want to affect the RPG storyline. Yeah. So I would say maybe 10 years. So would it be 87? Maybe do 87.
I love you, Josh. I love you, Josh. I love you, man.
And I would not do. I might put it in Berlin instead of
instead of Night City. I love you, Josh. Anywhere but Night City. That's what I said, man. Dude, look, 10 years after the original game, see how V changed the world.
Right.
Because he did. And then anywhere but Night City, see how his or her influence, whatever you chose, influence changed the world.
I think the easy answer would be, we're not going to do Night City, we'll do Seattle. I don't want to do Seattle. I'd much rather do Berlin, because Berlin is supposed to be more like Night City than Seattle is, and you could do like Neo Tokyo, but that seems
come on, man. That's what everybody expects, man.
Right. I would much rather, but that's me. Were you going to talk about Agatha or not?
Oh, yeah, Agatha. Josh, I don't care. I don't.
I'm kind of the same way. I might wind up watching it if I hear that it's good, but I don't. I'm with you. It's like
I'm going to watch it because I watch them all. I've liked them for the most part. For the most part, the only one I really just did not like at all was fucking
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, Secret Invasion. That's the only one I didn't like at all because they didn't go far enough with it. They didn't go far enough with it.
That was dumb. Like you need dumb. I don't know why.
If you do that, Josh, should it not be like half of the people you see are scrolls, right? Am I tripping? Should they go all the way with it?
Or you have to wait. Like the other thing is they they tried to do Super Scroll before you do the Fantastic Four, which is dumb, because the whole point of the Super Scroll is he
sees all the powers. The Scroll Empire sees all the powers of the Fantastic Four, and they go, we can use that. That's the point.
Right.
And then it wasn't even Kalert. It was some random fucking.
Now, I do hope, this is my one thing. I hope that at the end of Agatha, we get like a true Thunderbolts teaser. If she's gonna be part of that, I want a true Thunderbolts.
Well, she is. She's supposed to be one of them.
I think she's supposed to be one of them. I think she's supposed to be the Scarlet Witch of.
Okay, that would be cool. That'd be cool if Julia Louis-Dreyfus as La Fontaine shows up and like, hey, I know what you can do. I'm impressed.
Right.
Putting the team together.
Right. I think in some way, I think she's supposed to be. I know they haven't shown her in any of the trailers, but I think she's supposed to be in some way. But we'll see. I think at least in what's the Captain America movie? Brave New World.
Yeah.
Brave New World.
And that looks awesome.
That
looks. I'm not gonna lie. That looks awesome.
I mean,
I have my concerns, but that looks awesome. I can't lie.
It'll be interesting.
I still hate that the Hulk, as the Hulk, didn't get to fight Thunderbolt Ross. I'm not talking about Dr. Banner, whatever. Fuck that. I wanted the Hulk. I wanted Avengers 1 Hulk versus Thunderbolt Ross. Because it just doesn't work the same unless the Hulk isn't like savage. It doesn't work the same.
Right.
It doesn't work the same.
Right.
Or Thunderbolt goes, see, this thing is crazy.
Right.
This is why I did this, because this thing is crazy. But when you don't, you know what I'm saying, when you just jump the gun, because the Dr. Banner thing, okay, see, I don't want to complain about this tonight, but the Dr. Banner thing, it would work if they waited way down the road to do it. We should have gone a long time before we saw this version of the Hulk. That's just how I feel. We should have saw like Joe Fixit. We should have saw the the one that was in the Jerry Dugan series, the undead one. We should have saw that one. We should have saw so many other versions before
we should have
Banner and Bruce. You know what I mean?
What's the one that's like a combination of everybody? Because it's not like Banner, it's not Fix-It, and it's not like all the other Hulks. It's like he's like his own thing, but he's not Banner.
Oh, not Nightmare Hulk. Which one is that? That's oh Jesus, Josh. You're challenging my Hulk knowledge right
I mean,
now.
I mean, it's a '90s one, but
Yeah, it's Peter David. It's Peter
yeah,
David. I can't remember it.
but he's his own. He's
Yeah.
his own thing because Banner goes nutso, so he had to like.
We should have saw that, and then the end result should have been Dr. Banner because that's the Hulk and Banner finally coming to a. We should have saw that all play out on screen. We didn't.
I feel like it was a cop out that you didn't see like maybe at some point we will, but you didn't see like the Hulk come to the understanding of, yes, Thanos kicked my ass and I'm scared of him, but I have to like.
And you know they retconned that. That wasn't even the reason he hulked out. Apparently he didn't hulk out because he was mad at Banner. When we the fans came up with him being scared of Thanos, which is a way better story. But they said he was like mad at Bruce. Like, no, he should be afraid of Thanos because that's the first time in the MCU we saw the Hulk get dominated.
Right.
And that should have really affected him. He should have been like, whoa, I don't want no parts of
this. Because you're still talking about like 3-year-old brain Hulk. So like you're not talking about like
because I don't want no parts of it. Hell, that happened in Infinity Gauntlet. He whooped his ass and then he was scared of Thanos. That happened in like it was right there for him. It happened. Oh man. Oh, that I love the MCU, but have my doubts, man. My doubts and concerns.
We'll see.
Oh, and Penguin is coming in 2 days.
We were just talking about
we were talking about that before we went on the air. That's the one I actually care about. So
should be interest. Should be what? How do you feel about them changing his name?
What is? Oh, whoa! I didn't know about that.
It's instead of what's the Penguin's real name?
Oswald Cobblepot.
Instead of that, it's Oz something. Like it's something that they were gonna change it to. They were gonna retcon it to in the comics, anyways. At some point.
Oh, are you talking about Oz?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. Just because, I figured you'd be fine with it, but some people will be like, why did they,
As long as it's the same, who cares, man? Who cares?
I mean, people got mad about freaking the they changed him to a her and freaking the Batman. So,
which is better. You talking about Cape Crusade? It's better.
Oh,
1936 sexy penguin. Come on, man.
That show.
Oh, did you hear? Season 2 is in production as we speak.
Cool.
The guy, can't remember his name, Hamish Linklater. He said that he's already recording lines for Batman already. So
I still have
more.
I still have my theory of who Robin's going to be. I like my theory.
I don't remember. What was your theory?
It's gonna be Carrie.
Oh, Carrie. Oh yeah, because she was the one that
right.
Look, I think that episode showed it. I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I don't know if we're gonna get that next season, but I think you're right though.
I mean, right. That's the only reason I can think of why you would have all of them in that episode.
And then there's random like.
Right,
like just out of nowhere, like because it wasn't a part of the narrative at all. It was just a one-off.
Right, so, that's the only reason I love you. Introduce them all. She's the last one they introduced.
She was the only one that got hip to what was going on.
Right, she was.
Now I do feel like later on, if the show keeps going, all of them will be like with Bruce in some way. Right. But as Robin, I think you're right.
I think it's different, and I think it's. She's really like, other than that one Batman episode, she's never really been in any of the like even talked about in any of the cartoons. So
no, that was it. That was the only one. Yeah, that's it.
So that where they did that awesome
Dark Knight. This one, Batman's a girl. Yeah. mean, no, Robin's a girl.
Robin's a girl.
Robin's a girl. Yeah. And then Michael Ironside is Batman. Jesus Christ. Look. Peter Weller was cool. Don't get me wrong. RoboCop as Batman was cool. But man, that would have been perfect, ain't it? That would have been perfect.
And when, he got the
when
thing
I heard
is,
that voice, I was like, oh my God.
And the thing is when they did it, like, I think Weller played it really dry, which is fine. Ironside didn't play it dry. He, like, the corniness.
He was Darkseid. It's fucking Darkseid is Batman.
And he was, because he was, you got like the funny, like, crazy lines that are in that comic that are just completely over the top. He did them completely over the top, and it worked so well.
You don't understand, son. I'm a surgeon. This is my operating table. I was like, oh my God. This is perfect, man. By the way, coolest line in Batman history. This is my operating table.
Right.
As he fucking disfigures this dude. Oh man. Oh, Josh, we're at 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Yeah,
we should.
I have nothing else I want to say. I think we got everything out. So real quick before you go. Transformers 1. Josh hasn't seen it yet. I will say that it is the second best Transformers movie. I don't think it's better than Bumblebee, because Bumblebee, I think, is the best ET clone ever made. I don't think it's better than that, but as a movie, it's just a really great. And take your young ones to see it, because they'll get all of the fun quirkiness out of it, and it's a lot of jokes in there that are also for like adults too. It's not just like you're not gonna get left out. But if you like Transformers in any way, this movie, just as someone that likes Transformers and the lore of Transformers, it has everything you want, man. The only issue that I have, without spoiling anything, was the inevitable turn of Megatron. It just is a little rushed. So just a little more time to simmer, and it would have been perfect. It's just a little. When it happens, I'm like, oh man. And don't get me wrong, all of it is good from that point. The battles in that, there's a conversation between Optimus and Megatron towards the end that is just, it sums up everything they were trying to convey. If you ever seen Transformers Prime, my favorite moment from that show is the episode where Ratchet explains Orion Pax's Optimus Prime's origin. And there's a scene in that movie that pretty much sums up that whole story. And it's one of my favorite Transformers things ever. You'll know when you get to that scene. I thought it was phenomenal. Go watch it. And it looked bad. The trailer made it look so bad, but trust me, the trailer makes it
way better than I thought.
Everyone that I've heard talk about it said that the trailer made it look like one thing, and it's really something else.
It's really not. It's, oh my God, it's not.
So
like it is. Well, actually, I can't even say that, because it is. Don't get me wrong. It is everything you saw in the trailer. It is that, but it's another half of that movie that is not that. So it's a tale of two films. Let's put it like that. Because all of the Optimus and Megatron stuff, like when they're coming together and they're showing off their friendship, it is that. But when the movie changes and gives them a destiny, it becomes something else. So, and then when it becomes that other thing, that's when it's man. I was marking out in the theater, man. Let's just put it like that. Just please go see it, y'all. I want it to make so much money, so keep making them. Go see it.
I think that's it. I think we're good.
That's all I got.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, folks. Later.